Hello, my sweet friends. I am going to show you and talk to some things that have helped me when it comes to contour. I am by no means a pro. I'm literally just going to share with you some things that I have learned and that I like to do because I'm learning just like you are. Now, one thing I do see a lot, and I'm going to kind of tell on myself because I do warm you up when it comes to the contour, is a lot of times, if you've never contoured before, when I recommend the contour color for you, I will typically give you a safe color, meaning something not too dark, because I don't want to scare you. Because in the beginning, I would give people a color that I knew they would love, and when they would get that contour color that I knew they would love, but because they've never contoured before, they wouldn't even try it. They immediately would discard it and say, I'm never going to put that on my face. It's way too dark. They wouldn't even give it a chance. So the more I started recommending colors to people, I've learned to give people safe colors to start out with. And as they learn to do their contour and learn to do their makeup, they then come to me and say, I feel like my contour disappears, or I feel like my contour is not dark enough. And that is because I've typically given them a safe color to start with, and as they've learned how to do it, they now want to be a little more aggressive and go darker, and I love that. So if that's you, let me know and we'll get you a darker color, because I hear that all the time. Recently, I did a little test, and it definitely proved to be true. And the test was, I color matched a girl last week, and I gave her the color contour I would typically recommend, which is actually the one I use, and she sent back a message and said, I don't think I want a contour. That just looks too dark for me. I don't think it will look good. And I immediately knew, like, I should have gave her the safe color because it scares people. It does. So let me just show you as far as contouring, how it goes. So all I have on my face right now is just straight up foundation. I don't have anything else on right now. I don't have mascara on. I literally have nothing else on, which reminds me my lips are so dry. Let me throw some lip gloss on. Rachel! So I promise the contour can be scary and it does look dark, but it blends out so beautifully. So give it a chance. If you're new to contouring, I recommend getting the detail brush because it's flat. It has this little flat broomstick end, which basically makes it like a stamp. All you have to do is stamp it, and you're just creating these shadows on your face. All right, so you can kind of see, like if I turn my face a certain way, you can kind of see like the natural shadow I already have right here, and we're just enhancing that. And if you don't have that natural shadow, let's say maybe you have more full cheeks, just create it where it would be if you were to kind of suck in. And keep in mind, this is my biggest favorite cheek contour tip I have. Go high. The higher you go, the more lifted your cheeks will look, and that looks good. Everyone wants lifted, not droopy. Hey, Shannon. All right, so let's make our cheeks lifted. So we're going to take that broomstick in. This is the detail brush. And we're just going to I like to take it. Can you guys see? I kind of take it at an angle to where it's on the tip of this broom. I don't go in flat. I go in kind of at an angle, which is why it's kind of, anyways. Because what I'm going to do with this little edge right here is I'm going to take this, feel for your cheekbone. We don't want to come down here because we don't want droopy. We want lifted. I'm going to put it right up against my cheekbone. And I'm going to press. I'm just going to stamp, all right? So just like that. And I'm going to start at the back where my ear is and work my way up forward. Now tip number 2, don't come too forward because we want the apples of our cheeks to stay round looking. So in order to keep the cheeks round looking, we're going to keep them right here. See how it's it keeps it round, but behind it is shadowed. Can you guys see that? If you bring that contour too forward, it just takes the roundness away. And some people want that look. So if you want more of a thinner cheek look, bring the contour a little more forward. That's totally fine. That's just going to make your cheek look a little more slim, a little more narrow. I personally like full cheeks, so I only take it like the corner of my eye back. Just like so. And you can see how easy that brush made it? I just stamped it on. All right. And then I didn't say this at the beginning, and I should have, but if your contour is disappearing, obviously you can go darker, but if you still have a lot of contour left and you don't want to buy a new contour because you still have a lot left, do your contour last. So like how I already have my foundation on, I'm doing my contour last. Or just go back in and add more at the end. That's totally fine. There's no, like, you can always add contour. All right, so now we're gonna do our forehead. So the forehead, I think most people will understand, but just in case you don't, and there are some different ways to do it depending on your forehead. So if you have a larger forehead, bring that contour down some, all right? Making that shadow larger will make your forehead look smaller. If you have a small forehead, then you're not gonna want to bring the contour all the way up to the middle, because that will make your forehead look smaller. You'll mainly want to keep that contour on the corners of your forehead only, to almost give it more of just almost to make it more larger looking, to kind of compensate. So large forehead, bring it down more. Small forehead, take it away more. I feel like mine's kind of normal, average, in the middle. So I just kind of keep it right at my hairline, just like so. And now if you are mature skin and you are kind of getting lots of like saggy, maybe you're starting to notice some things are like sinking in a little bit. A lot of my mature friends who wear this makeup, they will not bring the contour into their temples. They'll only contour like eyebrows up, like right here. They will not bring it into their temples because that area is already kind of sinking in. What's the word? Like sallow. It's kind of sallow. And when you add contour, that's going to give it more sallowness to it, because what does contour do? It creates shadows. So if there's already a shadow here from it sallowing in, you don't want to make it even worse. So keep that in mind. If you already have this kind of sallowing, if you're mature skin, you don't bring your contour down all the way into your temple. I mean, if you do, not the end of the world, it's just makeup. But all right, let's do the other side real quick. I'm kind of just tap and bring this through. And I just tap just like so. I might bring this one forward just to show you guys the difference. Okay, let's do that. So this one, I only contoured the back. I left the apple of my cheek big and full. Over here, I'm going to bring that contour forward just a little bit, and you'll see how it kind of creates a whole different look. So, and sometimes I will go for that more thinner cheek look, but just depends. All right. Now I know it's kind of harsh, but I'll clean that line up here in a second. Let me go ahead and clean it up right now real quick. 1 second, let me get my brush. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of my foundation and just tap. I'm just kind of cleaning up the edges here. But you'll see how it makes a huge difference. 1 second. I went a little crazy with the contour. Okay. So I'm going to take the smaller end. Okay. You guys see how, which keep in mind, I've not blended this out yet. I'll blend it out when I put my blush and stuff on. Let me go ahead and put the contour on my forehead too, just so it's like a complete look here. One second. And of course, I'll blend this little harsh line right here in the middle too. I'm just kind of showing you the contour right now. Okay. So if you look at this side right here, it's a lot more straight. It's a lot more forward. And my face looks a lot more just thin and narrow. Right? Do you guys see that? Whereas over here, it's a lot more like lifted and full. Do you guys see that? And I kept my contour in the back and didn't go past my eye, like the corner of my eye. And so it's just like lifted and full. And over here, I went past my little apple of my cheek just a little bit, enough to give my face that like angled, defined, like thin look. So keep that in mind. Depends on the look you want. All right. As far as your nose goes, 2 ways you can do this. Either A, take the corner angle of your brush like we did on our cheeks and just stamp it also there. Or you can take your finger, kind of rub it in your contour, rub them between 2 fingers, and then press up and go down. I'm going to use my brush just because I have it here. Why not? So just like your cheeks, kind of just stamp a little bit on the edge. And then we're going to just stamp on the top of your nose. Now, with your nose, if you have a wide nose, bring these two lines that I'm about to draw closer together and your nose will look thinner. It's just an optical illusion. But if you have a thin nose and maybe you want it to look a little wider, you know, bring them apart. And I'll show you one other trick too here in a second. Let me draw these lines real quick. All right, you guys see? And I'm not blending them out. I'm just kind of showing you where to place them. I'll blend them out here in a second. So do you guys see how that just like thinned everything out? I'll take a little bit of my concealer color down the center. All right. So that just thins my nose out a whole lot. Now, if you like the end of your nose to be more like bubbly, you know, some people have like the round tip on their nose. I think most times it's contoured. But if you like that look, take a little bit of your contour and you're going to draw a little line across the bridge right there where you want the bubble to appear. And you can take a small brush. You can take, really you just need like a smaller ended brush. And just softly, I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera, but I can definitely see it in my mirror. It almost just creates this like little bubbly tip of a nose. I don't like that. Personally, I don't know. I feel like the end of my nose is already bubbly, so I try to take that away. But just in case you guys wanted to see that, you just basically take a little bit of your contour right there. And it just makes that look more rounded. I don't like that. But if you like it, that's how you do it. Kind of clean that up so I don't like it. Alright, so as far as my nose goes, let me kind of buff it, smooth that out just a little bit so it's not so harsh. This brush is so perfect for nose contour. Alright. And then let me throw on some blush and bronzer, and we'll go ahead and complete the look together. Why not? Alright, this is Sangria, a great fall color. I know I've showed you guys this color a lot recently, but it's just because I'm in love with it. And it just goes on the tops of your cheeks. I just like to tap it. And I feel like it's just so pretty. I know there's a lot of harsh lines going on for those that are just hopping on, but I'm going to blend. I'll buff those out, I promise. Alright, and I usually will do blush after bronzer, but I don't know. When I go live, I get a little nervous and start adding things and not even thinking. Alright, so I'm going to add bronzer now. And this will help with all the harsh lines. So let's see here. I just kind of stamp. I'm going to stamp where I want it first. And then I'll go to blend it. And I love the Bella bronzer for everybody. I know they came out with those new shades, like lighter and darker. But Bella, honestly, is so perfect for everybody. It was the only bronzer we had for like 4 years. And it worked well for everyone. I love it. Because it's kind of sheerish. So, I mean, if you were lighter skinned, you just go lighter handed. And if you're darker, you go a little heavier handed. It was buildable. It's just, I love the bronzer. Okay. And then take whatever's left. I just like to bring that down my neck a little bit. Well, alright, let me look in my mirror and see what we got going on here. Yeah, so there's a spot there. And if I need to clean anything up, I can. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of this Sangria on my lips. Oh, way too much, but it's okay. Alright. So, contour last. If you feel like your contour is disappearing. In the meantime, until you run out. When you run out, just get a shade darker. But like right now when you're done with your makeup, you feel like, man, I feel like my contour is gone. Take a small bit and just add a little bit right there at the base where your ear and hairline meet. Just like this. Like, oh, the contour is gone. Just add a little bit more on the top at the very end. Right there in the back. And there you go. And that is how you make the contour work. I don't have mascara on, so I feel like my eyes look kind of bare. But You get the gist, right? Let me find, I feel like my brows are looking kind of crazy. So let me, oh wow, I need to do a little bit of illuminator real quick. Let me add that as my finishing last touch here. This is Photoshop. I just sent this out to a friend, one of my customers, one of y'all, because, first of all, because she's a good customer, and I love her. Who was it? Your name just left my brain. She was just talking about Stacy, I just sent this to her. I feel like everyone should try it. It's a powder, and it is so pretty. So let me add it to my cheeks here, and you'll see. Do you guys see that? I don't know. The sun may be doing me dirty right now, but do you guys see that? It's so pretty. All right, and then I'm gonna add a little bit to my eyes, just because I probably have extra on my brush to use. I'm gonna flip over to the small end. Let me pull it back up. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put it on the Cupid's bow on my lips. And that just, oh, and a little bit on the tip of my nose too. Which I think I might just do that, but it will. It just adds a little bit of like pizzazz. Alright guys, now imagine I had some mascara on, because I feel like that would up this like 20 times. I'm going to put mascara on, but I'm going to do it off camera because I've got to do something else. So, that is it. If you guys have questions. Yes, definition, Rachel, is everything. It does make such a difference. When I just put foundation on, I feel like my face looks so bare without the contour. And to be honest, the contour takes like 1 minute, so why not? I'm trying to refresh these curls. Okay, well that is it. If you guys are having, Jessica, what is up? Any troubles, any issues, let me know. I would love to help you. Typically, if you're having something go on, it's something we can fix, and you're, I promise, not the only one that's asked or is having that issue. So ask me. Don't be scared. I would love it. I beg you to communicate with me. Let me know. That's what I'm here for. So you guys have a great Thursday, and I will be back live tomorrow around lunch to do my entire face with you guys and just chit chat and catch up. So if you do have questions, let me know. Tomorrow I'll show you or how to work through those things you're dealing with. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Bye. Thanks for watching.